Um, we were talking in another video about replacing these bolts with aftermarket ARP bolts, and some inquiring minds wanted to know um, about why we were doing that. A lot of times, this is a better material than like the OEM bolt. A lot of times, the OEM bolts fatigue, and you know they lose their clamping force. You don't want to reuse them. So anyway, this is a instrument for measuring the bolt stretch. Basically, what you do is you measure the length of the bolt uh, when it's not under a load. So basically, it's free length, and then there's a predetermined amount of stretch that a bolt requires depending on the material it's made out of and stuff like that. When the bolt is stretched to the proper dimension, it has a clamping force, and that's what you want. That's what holds the two halves of the rod together. That stretch is the clamping load that holds this together. So basically, you check the free length of the bolt. Um, you just zero your indicator on the free length of the bolt. These bolts actually have indentions on them on each end, and that's what that's for. That's for checking the stretch. So you set your free length like that, and then you torque the fastener, and it's, I don't know what they actually recommend on these. I think it's about 5.5 thousandths or so. Uh, I can check that and see real quick. Yep, they want 5.5 to 6 thousandths stretch on this particular bolt. So theoretically, if you torque it to their recommended torque setting, it should stretch somewhere in that area. There you go, 6 thousandths. So that's the difference between it being torqued and untorqued. So this one's torqued, so it's 6 thousandths longer now.
Thank you.
There you go.